Hello and welcome to a special episode of Worshipify, where instead of taking something that's not in the worship realm, I am taking something from the worship realm, the free AC30 preset by Worship Tutorials, and I'm going to max it out. The free AC30 preset from Worship Tutorials is excellent. It's got beautiful cleans and an excellent ambient section, but I always found it a bit too clean for my liking, and I want to push the envelope in terms of getting it to sound like a modern CCM kind of tone. This is not the only free resource that Worship Tutorials has put out. They have a favorites preset pack that contains settings for drive, compression, delay, reverb, as well as a Helix approximation of the Halo delay by Keeley Electronics, which is supposed to be the Andy Timmons signature delay. So today I'm going to try and push the envelope and see how far I get with just the free resources available from Worship Tutorials. And just in case I contravene any end user license agreements, I'm going to be using stock cabs instead of the IRs as provided by the free pack. If you want to follow along, you need to prepare your Helix with two things. Number one, download the free WT preset from the Worship Tutorials website, as well as import the favorites pack into your favorites folder. Without further ado, let's get cracking. I'm going to make sure that I'm not using any of the IRs, so I'm going to cancel all this out. I'm probably not going to be using any of these delays either because I want to use the Halo delay setting. I won't be using a looper, so I'm getting rid of that as well. To make it modern CCM, I'm going to put delays and reverbs before the amps. The problem is that this is a single amp preset, and having mono delay and reverb before this is going to be a bit mushy. So here's how I'm going to create a stereo amp preset. I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it down here. I'm going to drag this down. I'm going to create a second path. On the second path, I'm going to put a dual cabs. Let's go with the Bluebell, my favorite. Make sure that the stereo image is pan left and right. Now I'm going to add a mono gain block, pull this down, expand this out, make sure that this goes to path 2B. And I'm going to drag this to path 2A. So right now, the split point, make sure that the split Y block is fully left and right so that you're sending this amplifier to the left and this amplifier to the right. You know what? I'm going to get rid of this. Let's double check that the stereo image is indeed left and right. So left and right split Y, and the mix block is now left, right, correct. So it should sound stereo. Let's go over to the favorites folder. Let's load up the .8 delay. Crank this up. I'm gonna turn up the mix. Down here, I'm gonna put Halo delay 1, Halo delay 2. What I find really cool about the Halo delay settings on these two blocks is that it creates a full reverb because of that very long and modulated delay trail. Let's load up a Glitz cloud reverb here. That sounds huge. So beautiful. Can I do swells here? I wonder. Am I done? I don't think I'm done. I'm going to add in the chorus. I'm going to add in the trem. And then I'm going to move this before delay and reverb, which is my preferred settings. So chorus. There's no tweaking, by the way. All of this is stock from the favorites pack. Ryan Bradford, you knocked this out of the park. Okay, drive section. Let's try a Tube Screamer and the Minotaur together. Not my favorite sound, so I'm going to try and change this up for the King of Tone. Do I get anything different? To my ears, that's a bit too big, beefy, and round, which I guess works with Strats and other types of guitars. Now, looking at the gain settings, it's pretty low gain, as well as, yeah, the compressor level's not that high. According to the README file, Brian used a T-style guitar to tweak these presets, which must have medium to moderately high output pickups, because with these low output pickups, I can't get the pads to grind up and drive as much as I want to. So unfortunately, at this juncture, I'm going to have to deviate and break a rule from the rules of engagement, and then I'm going to start tweaking my own settings with the drives in order to get it to sound like how I would play it. So these are my usual settings for the Klon, which gives me a nice rhythm crunch sound. And then I'll push that into the Timmy, which I'm going to start tweaking this the way I would normally use it. New mistake of the day, I forgot to tweak the cab section, which you can see right here. It's got tons of fizz. The cabs are panned to the center, so there's no stereo imaging, even though I've got stereo effects up front here. Let's correct this straight away. Okay, with the Blue Bell, I'm going to change this to bring this down to 8 kilohertz, pan to the left. With this other Blue Bell, I'm going to change this up to the 121. Have this right at the cone, but pull this back 4 inches. Same thing, I'm going to bring this down to 8 kilohertz. Make sure the pan is way to the right. What sound do I get? If I get rid of the plate reverb here, that's a much cleaner sound. I like it, but it can go even more saturated to reach that modern CCM tone. Let's achieve that by using the secret weapon that we have, a retro reel placed right before the amp section over here. Turn this while flutter to 0. Make sure this is at 30 inches per second. Turn down the texture to 5 or something. Doesn't really matter. But turn out the saturation to 1.5 without. With it. And now the drives will have a little bit more push into the amplifiers. Just a Klon. Crank it all the way up. In fact, now that we've got the retro reel here, we can use this as a vibe pedal. I'm going to turn this up to 8. To bring this home and make it a truly Sunday-ready patch, we need a big washy reverb. And to do that, I'm going to bring in the wash setting for the dynamic hall reverb. Sorry, Brian, but I'm going to tweak it just a little bit more. 20 seconds decay and a 50% mix. What did we get? And since we've got one more block to play with, I'm going to add in the ubiquitous simple pitch, which is going to be our POG setting. I forgot to do the tremolo, so here's how the tremolo sounds with these settings. And there you have it, a preset that contains a complex sound with dual amps routing, stereo processing, all that with minimal tweaking effort because Brian Bradford provided the basic building blocks for us to use. This goes to show that the Favorites pack is a very good starting point if you're not sure how to go about tweaking these blocks on your own. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Worshipify. If you found value in it, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one. I normally take non-worship presets and then I tweak them to become Sunday ready. So you might get more value out of that. So I'll see you there.